Good morning everyone, thanks for joining me. So guys, I wasn't going to do a video this morning, but it's just come out literally like an hour ago or something on Sky News, and I'll put the link in the description. Basically something I've been saying for months now, and it's come out in mainstream media. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the articles, the initial article that I reported on, and how nothing is hidden anymore, guys. And I'm giving it to you long before it comes out on mainstream media. So guys, if you've not done so already, please like, comment, subscribe, share my stuff. It's literally just a little click for you guys, but it means so much to me, and I thank each and every one of you who have clicked that button. So today, guys, we're going to be basically giving some confirmation, like I said, what I've been saying over the last few months. I also got a message this morning from one of my friends who's on the front line in Ukraine. I'm going to give you that update. Also, some absolutely insane things that are happening in the UK. I'm talking about food shortages. I'm talking about early prisoner releases. You know, I honestly don't know where this ends or what's going to happen. But guys, you know, we are in for a wild ride. So let's start with the confirmation then, guys. Let me read you something that came out. Oh, it's gone. An hour ago. I'll just read you the headline, guys, because I've talked about this quite a lot. So this is from like an hour ago, 9:41 this morning, so whatever time it is now, I don't know. Ukraine war latest, Poland considering shooting down Russian missiles over Ukraine. And then Kremlin responds to Biden's slip up. We love Joe Biden. So that's what's just come out, guys. Now, also, the article that when I originally commented on this back in March 2024, I'll put the link to that also in the description. So this was the first time it came out. Polish official says NATO considering shooting down Russian missiles that approach its borders. So you see, guys, from back in March when I initially commented on this, I was like, oh, that looks a bit peculiar. Nothing's hidden anymore, guys, and I see these things in the weeds, and I comment on them, and I tell you what's coming. So this was back in March when they agreed this, when this was agreed, and then what you've seen then is little steps towards this happening until now we're at a stage where, and guys, I think yesterday's video or the day before, in fact, I think it was the day before, I spoke about how these F-16s are never going to be flown from Ukraine. They're going to be flown from Poland. And then it's going to be very difficult for Russia, for anyone to say, right, is that, as they say here, Polish, let me read it exactly. Is this a Polish F-16 setting off to shoot down a Russian missile? Or is it a Ukrainian F-16 that's at the same airfield setting off to do an offensive mission with a Storm Shadow or a Scalp missile? And it becomes very murky. Because guess what, guys? Every time one of these gets shot down, it will be a Polish F-16, I can guarantee you. But guys, you know, that is just the way we're moving forwards, and that is literally just the reality of the situation. I just wanted to get this out there, guys, and put this out there so you can see both of the links that will be in the description, just so you can see the time disparity of those two links and how, if you know what to look for, nothing is hidden anymore, guys, all right? Everything's out there in the open. There's no such thing as, like, you know, there's no such thing as hidden intelligence anymore. Everything's open source. Everything's out there. You just need to know where to look, and you just need to see and look in the weeds. You need to, you know, it's like white noise. You need to be able to understand what is not white noise and what is white noise. Because a lot of this stuff, it's regurgitated, news, and one person will report on it, then another person will change the headline. But you need to go back to the source material and, you know, find out what people are actually meaning. Right, I'm going to read you now a message I got this morning. I'm going to leave out names. Hi, mate. Oh, hang on. Hi, mate. Russians are pushing in the east. Somebody says there's absolutely no sign of them being exhausted yet. We only get power twice a day for a couple of hours. We are being promised it will improve once this heat wave goes away. Just got power in the morning. Sorry, mate, couldn't respond to you last night. And then there's some personal stuff. So what you can see there, guys, from Ukraine is these concerted attacks on the energy grid. You know, and once the energy grid goes down, that slows everything down. You know, it's slowing communications down, it's slowing industry down, it slows everything down. Now, what you're seeing with this is the significance and the impact that these attacks on the energy grid are having. Now, guys, I've said this, and how long have I been saying it about these, about the threat to the UK, about sabotage? Well, if we look what's happening in Ukraine, what you'll be seeing now is people seeing how successful these attacks on the energy grid are, and then they'll want to move that model to the UK. Guys, be under no illusion, I don't think there's going to be any glide bombs hitting, energy systems in the UK. What I do think there's a real, potential threat of homemade drones with explosive charges on them. We've seen homemade devices in the UK that have been built in the UK. Is it beyond the realm of possibility that there's someone in the UK that's thinking, oh, do you know what? I'm going to build this charge, put it on a drone and go and attack something. I think the energy grid is a huge vulnerable target in the UK. And, looking to Eastern Europe, they've been very successful in doing this. So I think that's, going to be a huge target for these people. I said these would be criminal gangs. The mainstream media are now branding them. What are they branding them? I think I did a video on it. Paid amateurs or something, or something like that. It's basically the same thing, guys. You no longer need to send spies into a country. You just need to have a decent internet connection and be able to talk to these people. You do a bank transfer, you transfer with crypto. There's an Arabic thing, an Arabic word. It's like hawalda or something. I'll put a link to it in the description, guys. Basically, hawalda. I think they're called hawaldas. It would be a system where you have a rich person in, I'm just making this up, guys, a rich person in Russia, a rich person in the United Kingdom. This guy agrees to pay this guy some money to pay this guy. So there's no transfer, there's no electronic trace of any money being moved. All that happens is this guy says to this guy, hey, go and give that guy 10 grand or something. And then those two guys, they're friends, they deal with it themselves, they do something, they work that thing out themselves. So there's no electronic trace, and it becomes very difficult then to understand and to be able to trace this money, trace where this financial trace is coming from, because there is none. It's literally just two people. And if they've got code words as well, if they've got code words like, I don't know, buy Johnny a pack of socks means give him 10 grand. Buy Johnny a pack of t-shirts means give him 5 grand. It's virtually impossible for any security services, for any, intelligence services or whatever, to intercept this, to be able to put a stop to it, because there's nothing to put a stop to. It's cash. It's people taking money out of their own accounts to give to people. It becomes very difficult to stop. It becomes very difficult to trace, and that's the situation in the UK at the moment, guys. Okay, remember I said it was going to be criminal gangs months ago. Mainstream media are coming out and calling them paid amateurs. It's the same thing. It's people we have in this country who don't subscribe to our way of life. They don't subscribe to our, our heritage, our culture, and they just want to destroy it. And guys, you know what? It is what it is. I'm not here to cast judgment. If we want to import people that don't like us, that's fine. We voted for a government. Let's see how the government deal with it. I'm not being overcritical on the government anymore, guys. I'm just going to tell you how it is, and I'm not going to pass judgment. Anyway. So now what we've seen is, over the last few days, more and more has come out of it. Again, I reported on this a while ago. Russia are now targeting arms suppliers. They've come out, and I think it was Rheinmetall, the CEO or whatever of Rheinmetall, which is a huge German arms manufacturer. Now there was an attempt or a plot or something. It's been foiled by German or US intelligence. Now, my question is, how far down that chain is it going to go? Okay, the CEO, he or she can afford, definitely security. They can afford, bodyguards, armoured cars and stuff. Okay, what about the people below them? What about the people below them? Okay, what about the people who are supplying benign chips and benign raw materials to that company? Can they afford it? So this is the situation now, guys, and it's only going to take a few of these high-profile incidents to pretty much grind the military-industrial complex to a halt. Because, guys, you know what? Who's going to go to work if people are, you know, drinking Russian tea? If you know what I mean about the Russian tea. You know, nobody wants to drink Russian tea. But, you know, that's the situation. You know, I don't know where this is going to evolve to. I think the Russians will be successful in this because they've had a, you know, they've had a successful run of, you know, doing these operations in foreign countries. But now they've got the added dimension of paid amateurs. Do you know what, guys? I'm going to stick with my own framing. Criminal gangs. They've got their own. They've got this new dimension now. They can use criminal gangs to conduct these, you know, these incidents, these attacks, these projects, I guess. You know, so absolutely insane times at the moment. Lots of stuff that I've been, you know, saying is coming. It's coming now. So guys, make sure you share my stuff. Make sure you like, because more people need to know. Remember, the reason I set up this channel and, you know, and our other channel is because 2022, when this, the February invasion 2022, my mum turned up and she was petrified. You know, she had 2 Aldi bags. It was full of chunky soup and long life milk, because she said, you know, if we're in the cellar, you know, we'll need the tea. And a lot of people don't know what's coming. And there's an old RAF. Well, it's not old. It's if you've ever done a parachute course with the RAF, there's the RAF parachute jumping instructors or something. Their motto is knowledge dispels fear. Now, when you're standing on the back of a C-130 looking down, that knowledge doesn't really dispel fear. But I kind of get what they're talking about in the context that, you know, if you understand these systems, if you understand the processes and the mechanisms, it does dispel the fear. So I'm giving this information out to you guys so you can see what's coming, you know, so you know what's coming in the next couple of months, so you know what's coming, so you can be prepared or at least understand what's coming. Because guys, if you're a boxer, any boxer will tell you it's not the punch that you see that knocks you out, it's the punch that you don't see. It's what you're unprepared for. Now, people are spending a ton of money on preparedness and getting all this stuff, guys. Everybody's situation's different. You know, we, in our house, in our family, we've got like 3 months food in the cellar. But guys, I'm ex-military. I'm one of those nerds. If I lived in America, I'd probably live in Texas, in the hills somewhere, and I would have far too many of those long metal things that things come out at the end, all right? But unfortunately, I live in the UK. We don't. Hopefully, we'd like to move to Texas one day, but that is not yet. Anyway, guys, sorry, I'm waffling on and going off script. So the reason I'm telling you this, guys, is just everybody's situation is different. If you know what's coming, you can make, you know, no, I don't want to use the word preparations. If you know what's coming, you can just understand it. Maybe it's not buying that new car. Maybe it's not, you know, not taking that finance deal. Maybe it's going to get that medical procedure you wanted. Maybe it's, you know, not doing something or doing something. Because at some point, guys, as I'm going to talk about in a minute, all these things are going to really, everything's really going to start to retract. Because, guys, you know what? Food shortages are coming, and we've got overcrowded prisons, so it's absolutely wild, which I'll come on to now. So the prisons are apparently overcrowded, which means now that the government are, and again, I'm not being overcritical of the government anymore, guys, you know, it is what it is. So the prisons are overcrowded, so the government are now releasing prisoners early. Let me just quickly read you from an article that I'll put in the link below. I'll just read you the first bit, guys. This is from the 12th of July, so I think today, yesterday, sorry. The government has announced emergency measures to deal with prison overcrowding in England and Wales. These include early release for some prisoners when they have served 40% of their sentence. The first people are likely to be released under the scheme in September. Now, I'm just going to leave it there, guys. I'll put the link in the description because I want to keep this video relatively short. Now, how do the families feel of this? You know, if something's happened and, you know, you feel something's happened to you as a victim, how do you feel now that, you know, somebody was given 10 years and they're only doing 4 of them? I don't see the argument here, guys. I really don't see the argument. You know, if you're given a sentence, that sentence you should, this is my opinion, guys, you know, if you're given a sentence, that sentence should be carried out in the full. Otherwise, what's the point in having a sentence? You might as well just have the sentences right. Okay, we were going to sentence you 10 years, but you're only getting 4. So why not just say the sentence is 4 years? I don't understand the mechanics of it, guys. It's not I'm not versed in criminal law in the UK. To me, this just says to me more crime, less time, in the sense that if more people commit more crimes, the prisons get full, you'll get out quicker. So to me, I bet there's some criminal gang saying, right, let's flood the prisons and then we won't do any time. So what happens if there's an uptick in more crime, for example? I don't know, if there's 20% more, I don't know, whatever crime you're thinking of, use that. If there's an uptick in more crime, that means that more people have to go to prison. That means that more people have to get set out early. So that means that it's actually better if you're a criminal to commit more crime, because you will literally do less time. Guys, that's just my interpretation of it. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. I genuinely don't know. I don't think I know enough about this. I don't think I know enough about this particular thing to be able to comment like I do with the military. But it just seems insane to me. Right, guys. Food shortages in the UK. If you've been following this channel, I've been saying this for such a long time. Now, there's a difference between food shortages and people going hungry. I don't think anybody's going to go hungry in the UK, but what I do see is food shortages coming. Guys, tell me, wherever you are in the UK, have we had a summer? No, we haven't. We've not had a summer. So what does this mean? It means excessive rain means we can't. The farmers the farmers can't plant stuff because there's no sun. Stuff's not growing. Now this is gonna have a knock-on effect. We've already got a fragile. 2022 we had a fragile system. Since then you've seen the grain. I don't want to say grain. You've seen food products from Ukraine. Ukraine supplied 10% of Europe with their food. So guys, Ukraine's in a war, so the food coming out of Ukraine is vastly limited. That's put stress on everyone else. Now, what we've seen and what we understand is, remember the toilet roll incident in 2020 or whatever it was. What you see is once people think there's shortages of things, as they do now, people start to bulk buy. So countries are now bulk buying, which is having which is making a greater effect on the rest of the system. So what we've got at the moment, guys, it's a cauldron of food shortages, and they're stepping closer and closer. We were already looking at food shortages before we had this bad summer. Now we've had this bad summer. This is pretty much inevitable now, guys. We're going to have food shortages. Nobody's going to go hungry, but we are going to run out of certain things. You're going to see shelves empty. So let me read you a quick article, guys. Heavier rain downpours will mean food shortages and hit farm animals, union warns. That doesn't make sense. Heavier rain downpours will mean food shortages and hit farm on it. Right, guys. Okay, I don't know. Right. Okay, I'll put the link in the description. Consumers will face less choice and more products will be imported as floods worsen, say farmers. So farmers in the UK, they're saying, look, we've got floods, we've got heavy rainfall, there's stuff we can't do. All this, no sun means no grass growing. No grass growing means the livestock can't feed off the grass. It also means that there's no wheat, look in the fields where you live, guys. They're terrible. We're having a terrible summer at the moment for growing stuff. So this year's harvest is going to be terrible. That means we're going to have to import more stuff. Import it from where? 10% of Europe's food imports from Ukraine, they're gone. They don't work. So that means that there's already stress on the European food market. So best case scenario, prices are going to rocket. Fruit vegetables will be in short supply with crop harvests severely hit as winter downpours become heavier in the future. Farm leaders have warned farmers will struggle to keep cattle fed because grass will be underwater for longer periods. So you see, guys, right, this rain that we're getting now and no sun, it's having a huge knock-on effect to our farming system. And our farming system, if you've watched Clarkson's Farm, which is cool, it's already under like a ridiculous strain in the sense that, It's more profitable for farmers to grow flowers in their fields than it is to grow food. Guys, I don't know where this is going. You know, it's absolutely insane. Just like I did with the F-16s, like I did with the Poland thing, I've told you, you know, I'm telling you guys, and I've been telling you guys for a while about these food shortages coming. So guys, if you're watching this channel when these food shortages come, you shouldn't be surprised. Guys, I'm going to leave it there because I've waffled longer than I thought I would. I'm going to back to grid and I'll see you later.